Somewhere in the Swiss Alps, there are villages that the modern world forgot. No traffic, no crowds, no noise, just snow, stone, silence, and people who chose this. And by the end of this video, you might start questioning everything about the life you are living right now. To reach these villages, there are no roads, no buses, no shortcuts. You walk, or you swing over stomach-dropping drops in a cable car. And that difficult journey is not a flaw, but the entire point, because these places were built by people who understood that everything worth having requires something from you first. Switzerland has over 2,000 mountain villages, but the ones we are here for today are counted in dozens, not thousands, where the youngest person might be 40, where the church bell is still the loudest thing you hear all day, and where time was not forgotten, it was refused. These houses were not designed by architects with mood boards. They were built by hand from the mountain itself. Stone foundations, dark timber walls, roofs weighted with centuries of snow, and every building is a conversation between the people who built it and the mountain that surrounded them. And the mountain always had the final word. Listen, and I mean really listen, because when was the last time you heard nothing? Not the nothing of headphones off or a quiet apartment where electricity still hums and traffic still breathes, but real nothing, mountain nothing, the kind of silence that has actual weight and presses gently against your chest until something inside you unknots. The people who live here didn't arrive by accident. They made a conscious, deliberate, often painful choice to leave cities and careers and convenience behind for altitude and simplicity. And when you ask them what they miss about their old life, most of them pause, not because they can't answer, but because they genuinely struggle to find anything worth missing. Life here follows a rhythm unchanged for generations. You wake with the light, work with your hands, eat what the land and animals give you, sleep when the dark comes, and no algorithm tells you what to do next. No notification interrupts the morning, because the mountain sets the schedule, and the mountain, it turns out, is an excellent manager. Food here is not a lifestyle statement. It is not filtered and captioned and posted. It is grown, raised, made, and eaten in that exact order, without ceremony. Cheese from the cows that grazed outside that very window. Bread from the same oven that warmed the house the winter before. And there is a German word, Heimat, that means home, but deeper than home. And up here, the people and their Heimat are completely the same thing. Winter in these villages is not an inconvenience to manage, but a season to inhabit fully. The snow doesn't just fall, it transforms everything into something quieter and softer and heavier. The village slows down even further, if that is possible, and the people turn inward to their fires and families and crafts. And in doing so, they understand something that central heating has made the rest of us forget. That warmth is something you make, not something you buy. But let's be honest, this life is not a Pinterest board or a wellness retreat. The isolation that brings peace can also bring loneliness. The simplicity that calms can also constrain. And when your nearest hospital is an hour away in good weather and 3 in bad, simplicity carries a real cost. And the people who stay know this, and they stay anyway. And that is not stubbornness. That is a value system. Community here is not something you opt into on an app. It is your neighbor appearing at your door with firewood when the storm comes. It is It is the whole village turning out for one family's broken roof. It is knowing every face and every name and every story, because out here you have no choice but to know each other. And that compulsory knowing becomes something completely indistinguishable from love. Children who grow up here grow up differently, not looking at screens but looking at mountains, not learning to swipe but learning to read snow and track weather and use their hands. And when they eventually leave, pulled by education and opportunity, they carry something no city child is handed automatically, something that cannot be taught in a classroom or downloaded from anywhere. They carry stillness. The old ones who have been here longest are keepers of something that cannot be Googled. They know which path holds in a storm, how the mountain shifts its mood before the weather turns, which families have been neighbors for 400 years, and what debts of kindness and long forgiveness that carries. And when one of the old ones goes, the village doesn't lose a person, it loses an entire library. Evening comes early in the mountains. By 4 o'clock, the light is already gold and sinking. By 5, the village is wrapped in a dark so complete you can see every single star. And in the Swiss Alps, that is a sky absolutely full of stars. And standing under it in that silence, the problems that follow you up the mountain begin one by one to seem very, very small. These villages are disappearing, slowly, quietly, without headlines. Young people leave for cities and universities. Houses stand empty through winter and are sold to holiday visitors who come twice a year and never learn their neighbors' names. And there is a German word for a village that has lost its last permanent resident, Geisterdorf, a ghost village. And the Swiss Alps have more of them every single decade. And yet some stay, some come back, some arrive from cities and unpack their bags and never repack them, because something in this place calls to something in certain people, and they cannot explain it rationally, and they do not try. And when you ask them why they chose this, they look at you and then at the mountain and say, how could I have chosen anything else? And standing there in that air, you understand exactly what they mean. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer it in the quiet, honest place in your chest. Is the life you are living the life you actually chose? Or is it the life that happened to you while you were looking at a screen? Because these villagers made a hard and unpopular choice. And every single morning when the Alps turn pink with the first light of sunrise, that choice is justified completely and without reservation. The morning we leave,
The village is quiet in the way it is always quiet. A dog barks once and decides it isn't worth the effort. Smoke rises from one chimney, then two. Somewhere behind a window, someone is making the same breakfast their grandmother made in the same kitchen with the same unhurried hands. And we walk back down the mountain the way we came, but we are not the same people who came up.
There is a reason millions of people watch videos like this one. It is not curiosity about other places, but hunger, a deep, modern, almost desperate hunger for something that used to be ordinary and has become rare. Slowness, simplicity, silence, the feeling that where you are is enough, that who you are is enough, that the small day in front of you is completely, unconditionally enough. These villages are not a solution or a destination. They are a mirror, and what they reflect is the part of you that already knows how you want to live, the part that gets quiet late at night and wonders if there is another way. Nature, health, peace, better life. That is not just a tagline, that is a direction. And if this video moved something in you today, subscribe, because every week we go somewhere that reminds us what actually matters.